Ooh. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome back to the BosqueeNet adventure. Tonight, I decided to come back into the campground. Yes, it's closed for the winter time, which makes it quite calm and peaceful up here. I don't know how well the camera is picking this up, but there is just the faintest amount of snow falling in the air. The weather forecast for this evening doesn't actually call for much weather. It's supposed to just be calm and cool. So I think the snow that's blowing in right now is actually from the ski resorts, which is just up the hill here. They probably have all their snow production turned on right now. We've had some rain in the valley this past couple of days, so I think they are feverishly trying to make snow for this winter season. But anywho, we're just going to have ourselves a quiet little camp this evening. I got the Backwoods Bungalow with me just in case there is any heavier precipitation. I'll have that nice awning. But anywho, I am going to get camp all situated. I want to thank you all for joining me and let the adventure begin. It appears that the wind is blowing in that direction. There you go. That should show you that just little balls of snow falling from the sky. You know, it's only 4 o'clock. It's just a dark gray day. Need to start putting the lights up already. Well, I guess I have a quick announcement to make. More of a celebration, really. The BosqueeNet adventure has finally hit its 500th subscriber. Woohoo! Hooray! So I do want to thank everyone who has subscribed to the BosqueeNet adventure. This has been quite a journey, and it has been a lot of fun producing all of these camping and adventure videos. Not only myself, but Mandy is also very grateful to all of you. So thank you so much for subscribing and joining me on these fun adventures. So as I give you a quick look-see of this campground, believe it or not, this is the snow that fell 2 weeks ago. Was it 2 weeks? Yeah, I think it was 2 weeks ago now. At our last snow camping adventure, right? So we continue to have a very meager snow year. In fact, just yesterday down in the valley, we set a record temperature high for this time of year. It got all the way up to 67 degrees. Oh my, that is just absolutely unheard of for winter time in Utah. But once again, my fingers are crossed. I'm still hoping and praying that this trend breaks soon. It needs to break, seriously. We need the snow, we need the wet weather. Plus, I have a lot of wintertime camping that I was hoping to be doing, like snow camping. So, we need the snow already. So just so you all are aware, tonight's adventure is going to be super chill, just super calm, super relaxed. I brought up some Duraflame logs with me, so not going to be doing any scavenging for firewood or anything else like that. I'm actually working on a pretty good headache right now. I took some ibuprofen just a bit ago, so hopefully that goes away soon. So I do want to apologize right up front here. This adventure is just going to be a bit more slow pace than normal. And yes, it is starting to get chilly already. I think the thermometer says we're about 34, 35 degrees. Yeah, it's going to be a cold one tonight. Up here in the mountains, we may not be getting the snow, but it sure is cold. Hence why any snow that's up here does tend to stick around for quite a while. Tonight's forecast, definitely getting down into the 20s again tonight. It's going to be a chilly one come the morning. So I think my plan of attack will be to only do half a Duraflame log tonight and do the other half in the morning. I'm suspecting tomorrow morning it will be much appreciated with how cold it's going to be. There is not a whole lot going on in the forest this time of year. It is like quiet, quiet, quiet. I haven't heard a lot of squirrels, and there certainly aren't many birds up here. The only thing of note is an occasional breeze that blows through the tops of the trees up here. That's about the only thing making noise right now. It is just quiet and still as can be. I don't know if you all can tell what this is, but somewhere up in this tree lives a squirrel, and he has been busy ripping apart all kinds of pine cones. And this is all what's left. So this squirrel or squirrels has been eating quite well lately. See more just of this. Bits of pine cone that have just been absolutely shredded. There's the squirrel. There you go. There's the squirrel for you, just chattering away. Probably wondering what I was doing with all of his leftover pine cones. You know, I have decided that it is time to start making dinner. So bear with me here just a moment while I get everything all set up. Tonight I plan on just making up some pasta with some marinara sauce, some hamburger. It's something I've never done on camp before. At least made it from scratch, right? So hopefully it turns out well. Now I did bring 1 cup of elbow macaroni with me. I think that's just going to make a lot. So I don't think I'm going to cook all of that. But seeing as how this will take the longest, let's start boiling the pasta first. You know what? I think that's going to be plenty for me. We'll go ahead and fill our pot here with some water. A little chilly out here for the butane. Once that water comes up to a boil, I'm just going to put my pot into the koozie sleeve and just let the pasta kind of do its thing, just stay in there warm. And then we'll prep the meat, the pasta sauce, and just really start getting everything going. Just making sure it's not all sticking to the bottom. Titanium cups. Yeah. Even if the pasta's in water like this, it'll stick to the bottom. But we're just about to a boil here, and then I'll pull it off. Just like that. And we'll let it do the rest of its thing while in the koozie. But next, time to fry up some hamburger. Right, now that the hamburger's done, time to add the sauce. Just let that warm on up there for a minute. All right, now I'd call this part done, so we'll just take that off the heat. Set it off to the side. We'll probably put our noodles back on here just for a little bit longer. Definitely don't need it that hot. There we go. Let's try a noodle here and see how far along we are. Maybe just a minute or two more. Those are just about done. All right, now last but certainly not least, let's combine everything. Yep, definitely didn't have to do the full cup of pasta. And to top off all of this yummy goodness, let's cheese it up. I have some cheddar and mozzarella. Let that just get all cheesy and gooey. All right, my friends, check this out. Look at that cheesy goodness. Oh, yeah. That is a stick to your ribs meal for sure. Since that is still way nitro hot, I think what I'm going to do is start the fire real quick, and we'll have just a nice cozy dinner by fire tonight. Get our first stir flame log. All right, everyone. That fire's not going to take long to get going, but time to dive in. Bon appetit. Fantastic. That turned out really well. Although I do think it is time to get up off the floor. It took a while for this thing to finally start going, but we're good now. Now, I've experimented with this before, and a half a Duraflame log should last about an hour, hour and 20 minutes. So it's not going to be a long fire this evening. You know, it'll be just enough to keep that cold edge off for a bit, and just make the evening all the more pleasant. As you can probably tell, there's a pretty good north wind right now. It comes blowing down ever so often and brings a pretty good chill with it. Wind, I don't know, it's just kind of swirling, and every once in a while it blows the smoke in and blows the smoke out, so the warmth of it is enjoyable, but the smell of it isn't. Now there is a certain moment when those Duraflame logs really begin to get super smoky. You know, it's right at the point where it's really starting to crumble and fall apart, and it's almost done. It'll be out here real soon, but it gets super smoky, and there was just kind of a draft this way, so it was like, okay, nope, we're pushing that far enough away from the tent. It's no longer enjoyable. Time for it to go. But as such, there's just not a whole heck of a lot for me to do. I think I'm just going to crawl into the sleeping bag, throw on a movie for the rest of the evening. I'm not quite sure what John Wayne movie I have tonight. I think it might be Hondo. That's always a good one. I like that one. So yeah, I'm getting a little chilly. I can see my breath. It is getting super chilly right now. I'm going to hop into the sleeping bag. I'll probably check back in with y'all once I lower the tent. I am going to put it into storm mode tonight. I mean, there's no storm coming, but it'll help keep the breeze out and keep a nice cocoon of warmth inside the tent. So, but as for now, I'm just going to hop into the sleeping bag, and we'll check in with you before I go to bed. Actually, the movie for tonight is In Harm's Way.
There's no way to make telegram for a day or two. I read it.
Actually warmed up quite well. It's not too bad. But time to close down the tent for the evening. Shall we check out the unexpected here real quick? So, before I got into the tent, you know, we were sitting at 33, 34 degrees. It's warmed up to 38. I was not expecting that. Temperature has just absolutely been weird up here in the mountains. I don't get what's going on, but sure, as the evening progresses, we get warmer. Sure, why not? Well, I'm flummoxed over here. I really don't know what the weather's going to be like in the morning. You know, the forecast said 20s, but with the temperature going up as the evening was going on, I don't know. Maybe it'll sharply come back down. Who knows at this point? Crazy weather, just absolutely crazy. My movie was excellent, a John Wayne classic. It actually has quite a lot of people. It It had John Wayne, of course. It had Kirk Douglas, and it even had a couple of, I guess it would be cameos by Henry Fonda. Good flick. Most excellent. But let's see here. It is officially 9:30. Yeah, it's kind of early for me. But anywho, I was all kinds of comfortable inside my sleeping bag and everything, so I think I am just going to call it an evening. Gonna climb back into bed. I know, kind of boring. I apologize to everyone. This is probably a boring adventure for all of you, but for me, I don't know. I'm just outdoors. I'm really enjoying this. This is my calm and relaxation time. I don't know what it is about camping and just being outdoors like this, inside of a tent, on the ground, on my sleeping bag, in my sleeping bag, on my sleeping pad and everything else, but it is just truly just calming and peaceful for me. This is my happy place, so I'm going to enjoy it how I see fit. In the morning, I'm going to throw on a cup of hot chocolate, have myself a couple of pastries, continue to enjoy camp. But until then, gonna climb back into the sleeping bag, get all comfy. I want to thank you all for joining me, and we'll see you in the morning. Good night now. Morning, everyone. Let my eyes adjust here real quick. Oh my goodness. I slept pretty darn hot last night. Hotter than what I thought I was going to be. So I ended up taking off my black sweater and even the beanie. Like, I was really, really hot. I like to sleep at like a cool to warm temperature. So when I started to sweat a little bit last night, it was like, oh my goodness, what's going on? But it was kind of a uneventful evening. I mean, for the most part, it was really, really quiet. But like all of a sudden at 1 a.m., around 1 a.m., there was a huge explosion somewhere out there. Now, I think it was kids fooling around because like 10 minutes later, I started hearing a whole bunch of music down the valley and cars burning out and the whole 9 yards, right? So somebody lit something off and obviously startled me out of my sleep and everything, but I think that ended up lasting for a good half an hour of just some kids screwing around down the mountain. So yeah. So there was a moment there where it wasn't quite as peaceful as I would like it. Occasionally the wind would pick up. It would come rushing down the mountain, shake the tent a little bit, but nothing too bad. This tent is so solid you hardly notice it. It is still very, very much dark outside. I think the time right now is about 6:45-ish. This is just my normal wake up time, so here in just a bit, I think I'll start getting out. Check the temperature. I'm on the fence of whether or not I want to light up that last half of the Duraflame log. I really don't think that I'm going to, but I definitely will get up, raise the canopy, have myself a hot chocolate, stretch the old legs. Yeah, let's do that. I mean, it is really warm in here. Can't even see my breath. No condensation. which surprises me. That surprises me big time. Wow. I mean, seriously, everyone, I am super duper surprised here. I am going to put on my hat. It is cold enough for that. But I certainly was expecting the temperature to get down a whole lot colder than what it is. I mean, it was forecasted to do it too. The fact that we're not in the 20s right now, let alone below freezing right now, just absolutely surprises me. Because for a moment there, I mean, it did start getting chilly up here. Certainly is quiet out there. Not a whole lot to see yet. You know, so I even had my King Camp quilt with me tonight. I really did prepare for a much colder night than what it ended up being. Let's look at our pastries. Which one do I want? I'm gonna do this one today. This is a breakfast claw. This is kind of cinnamon based. I really do like the cinnamon pastries for breakfast. That's kind of my favorite. I know with this camera it's going to probably show up just a little bit dark, but the sky is just absolutely beautiful right now. All kinds of pinks and oranges and blues. I've got my phone over here doing a time lapse, so we'll have to check that out here in just a little bit. But it's just making all the snow down here glow orange. It is quite beautiful. Well, wonderful, everyone. We're going to call the adventure here. It's still just a little bit dark of a morning. It is 8 a.m., so I am surprised about how dark it is still. But anywho, I did a look around camp, made sure I got everything. Everything's in the backpack, all set to go. This week's adventure certainly was a rest and relaxation adventure. It was nice, quiet, calm, definitely what I needed, especially when trying to work off that headache that I had coming up here. But anywho, I do once again want to thank you all for joining me on this adventure, and if you like this episode, be sure to mash that like button. It really does help the channel. And if you're not yet a subscriber of the BosqueeNet adventure, consider doing so. It is a great way to support the channel. As always, if you have any comments, questions, concerns, or hey, you just want to chat, hit me up down in that comment section below because I always look forward to hearing from you. I'm going to get scooting down the trail. Thank you once again for joining me. Bye now.